to do our chapter 3 review. So these are the type of questions you should expect to see on your test. If I forget, remind me before you leave that I need to give you your test. So make sure that you're asking questions. I would have liked to turn it into I could probably turn this into a game. Let's do it this way. Let's do. All right. Let's do Levy and Paige. You're gonna be together. Let Taylor roll. That's all right. Put to the line out. That makes sense. You're going to be a part of Morgan's row. All right. So we'll do it this way. Everyone has to answer, but I'll tell you which seat is going to do the answering. If you get a question right, I haven't played this in a long time, so let's see how this goes. If you get a question right, you are going to take. I'll hand you a Zach one. I'll send to you. So you want to be the team that has the most X's left. So the things that can happen is if you get it right, you could pick a card that says add a point to one team, add 2 points. Zap your own team would mean you erase one X. If it says zap all teams, you get to erase one X from each team. Or it could be zap just another team, so you get to pick one. So does everyone kind of understand? It's kind of like trash get ball if you've ever played that before. Except I'm just not adding points for each question that you get correct. So, all right, this one's going to be for the first one in each row. So that's going to be Davey, and you'll be second. And you'll just have to keep going first. But everyone answer. So our first question, let's see how this goes. Alistair, who is 5 feet tall, is standing 3 feet from a mirror lying on the ground. When he looks into the mirror, he can just see the top of a tree that is 24 feet away from the mirror. So in this problem, you want to kind of picture what this is looking like. I personally would draw this out. I think I actually might have you do that. So yes, so your first question, you need to make a sketch of the situation. So make a complete sketch. Yeah. Yeah. Or how about I'll just do it as long as one person from each row gets it right. I won't put pressure on individuals. Remember, we're dealing with triangles. Hold anything. Remember? No calculation. Just draw a sketch. Make sure you're labeling all parts. I'll give you 10 more seconds to finish it up. All right, boards up. See what you got. Okay, don't erase your boards yet. We'll do it this way. This is easy for me to. All right, so let's do this. Before I draw it, everyone look at your group's boards. So show your boards to everyone in your team, and your team needs to pick which board you're going with. All right, you guys picked which board you're going with? Which board are you guys going with? Now, let me see what you got. Okay, which board are you guys going with? What's this then?
That's a tree.
Oh, it's a tree. Okay, which board are you guys going with? All right, so we're dealing with similar triangles again. Now, I understand that you didn't have the final question, so I'm not going to be super picky. But we have Alistair, who's over here. He's 5 feet tall, so that needs to be labeled. He's standing away or standing 3 feet from a mirror laying on the ground. So 3 feet, if you wanted to label the mirror, you could. He can see over the top of a tree that is 24 feet away from the mirror, so there's some tree. So it would look something like this, because we would have to use similar triangles, because they're probably going to ask what's the height of the tree. So this group had all parts labeled. You were missing your 5 feet, and you were missing some number. Yeah. So it's fine if you didn't have this part right here. But you want to make sure you have everything. So this is what they like to do on random tests. They won't put it into a number. They'll put it into words, and it'll look like that you don't need to label it, but you do. So do whatever you need to do with it on the board. Huh? Oh, whatever the top one is. I know they're all stuck together. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it says. What does it say? Okay, so you're going to take 1 point from any team that you want. Is that what it said? Yeah, pick a team. You probably want to talk to your team about it. Oh, I was like, she leaned forward real fast. I was like, man, she knows what team. You can do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You can take one away from your team, but I wouldn't suggest that. I don't know. Take a look around. What team do you think might beat you? Remember, this is for extra credit points. I always do these. Who do you want? I'll do it for you. Who do you want?
You won last time, right?
Yeah, but look at me, I'm dumb.
Oh, so we're going with Malia?
No.
No?
Hi.
Sorry.
She
All right.
looked at the dumb.
Second part of the question: How would you set up this problem? So you have your sketch. So this is what you're looking at. This is stupid. I did not answer the. All right, how tall is the tree? So I don't want to know actually how tall it is. I just want to know how would you set up this problem? So you can either explain it in words or you can set up the actual problem. You don't need to solve it though. Give you 10 more seconds. All right, look at your team, see which board you want to choose.
We're supposed to solve it. What does that say?
All right, what board you guys going with? Who'd you guys go? All right, so it looks like we did a pretty good job noticing we needed to set up a proportion. So it doesn't matter which ones you use except whatever you start with. So if we set it up like we were doing with similar triangles, let's say I was doing base first, so I went from small to big equals small to big. Something in that order. Yes, when you solve it, what do you get? Like some decimal? No. 120, so 40? Yeah. 40? Okay, yeah, if you work out your proportion, you would find 40. So just remember, whenever we have similar triangles, we get to set up proportions to solve for the missing side. All right, so go ahead and do your Zap feature. Don't be shy. Yeah, since it's everyone, you guys can go ahead and do it. You can. Does it say to only the same team? Yeah, just do to one team.
There you go.
Huh?
I have to go up there.
Do you want me to do it?
I don't care. Cause I can go up there.
Yeah, so you can do it. That's fine. Yeah.
Think back to you.
Switch ones with another team, so.
You want to wait until after everyone does theirs?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to switch points with another team. So
Payback.
kind of be aware of what you're doing now if that helps you out with your strategy.
We give our points to Davey and Tweed, and then they switch with us.
I messed up.
That's what I would.
Well, I would, yeah, whoever has the most points, that's the team I would pick.
Hey, Davey.
Right?
It's Ayla.
Davey. What, Trey?
Yeah, Davey, trade us, and we'll give you 2 extra points. And then-
Oh, we're making deals?
Yeah,
Good.
give us now, you guys. trade us.
Oh, that's smart, because you know they have to switch. All right, which team do you want to switch with? You got, what is this? 12,
We have the
well-
least amount of points, that's all you got.
9, and 8.
We can switch with Ayla then.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'm just gonna erase the names. All right.
Trying to like set.
A-Y.
We have the least points.
Why would you want to switch with them?
Wait, you're supposed to have more or less points?
More.
But it doesn't matter. It's because of how the X's went up. So with all the teams having to either add or zap people, so it ended up there were 2 the same. right. Any questions about this problem? Pretty sure there's something like this on the test. We're good? Okay. Next one. When Garrett realized that all equilateral triangles were similar to each other, he got very excited. That means, he proclaimed, they all have the same area and perimeter too. What do you think? Is Garrett correct? Explain completely. I can't remember if okay. So yeah. Is he correct? Yes or no? And then explain why. So there's kind of two parts. You have to write yes or no and then explain your answer. This would be one if you're not sure on how to use the words. I'll picture showing it. Okay. All right, go ahead and look at your team's answers. See who you want to pick.
I don't know how to explain sorry to your.
I'll go for you, man. Yeah, can't have that bad.
I'll have to click once again.
All right, which one are you guys picking? Hey, which guy? When are you guys picking? Who you guys? Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, so it's basically looking for something that said proportional in there, or if you drew an example. But they don't all have the same area and perimeter too. So I don't know if you remember back when we actually worked these out, we saw that if they were similar triangles, like I'm okay with your guys' answers. That's what I gave everyone, but it's not exactly what I was looking for, which is fine. So if you have this triangle, right? This triangle is similar to this triangle. Does everyone agree? Okay, why are they similar? They're proportional, right? What triangle condition statement works here? Right, side, side, side.
Oh.
So let's say that the height was 1 here, and the height is 2 here, whatever. So the perimeter of this one is 6, right? And the perimeter of this one is 12, which makes sense. Multiplying by 2, and you get your perimeter. We can see that the scale factor is 2. So we know, oh, we'll just double the perimeter of the next one, and or the first one, and I'll get the second one. But with area, what is it? 2 times 1. So area, this one is 1. Base times height divided by 2. While the area of this one, if we go by what Garrett is saying, shouldn't the area be 2, right? I would just multiply by 2. And is it? No. It's going to be 4 times 2 divided by 2, which is 4. So remember, perimeter was doubled, but area was quadrupled. So this question, the wording is kind of tricky on it. It's not necessarily asking, is area equal to perimeter? No, we know they're not going to be equal. But it's saying if these two are equilateral, they are similar. So are their perimeters going to be this similar as well as the areas? They're a little different. That's okay. You guys did a good job. Go ahead and do your zaps. Everyone had add points? All right, next question. We're doing part A first. Actually, we're probably just going to do A. So yeah, just part A. Are these two triangles similar? You need to explain if they are. Well, if they are similar, why? If they are not similar, then why? Okay, give you another 10 seconds. All right, confer with your teams.
I got the yes part right.
Okay, what did you guys What did you guys get? Yeah, so I saw a lot of yeses, but I did see some no's in there. So if you take a look at this triangle, you're given 3 side measurements, right? But on this one, you're only given 1. So can you set up any proportions to see if these triangles are similar? Do we have enough sides? We don't, right? There has to be at least 2 on each one. So then we have to look at the angles. Well, T is congruent to A because it's marked. E is congruent to S because it's marked. So that's enough to give us angle similarity. So yes, they are similar. All right, go ahead and do your zaps.
Colton, which team are you on?
Hey,
David, hear me out. Alright, I'm about to give you 2 points, as long as you don't give any other.
Dude, Austin tried to pull that with me.
But I swear, on everything, we'll keep the lines together.
What are you doing?
Give
You
him
say
the
that?
margin. Chase, give him the margin.
How you doing?
Thank you,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right, so
I went down by.
if this was a question, how would we calculate the perimeter of this triangle?
Oh, you just added them up.
Right, you add up all the sides. If Aaron was trying to find the perimeter of A and E, he sets up this proportion. Will that work?
We did this on our board.
No. I'm just asking. So he's got a proportion where he set up side 14 corresponds to side 4 corresponds to 14. And then he said the sides have to equal whatever the perimeter is. What do you think? That might be a good question. I have that on the test. I like this one. So essentially he's saying whatever the scale factor is for the sides has to equal the scale factor for the perimeter. Is that true or false? Think about the last problem we did, right? Yeah. Does the scale factor of the sides equal the proportion of the perimeter? Let's look at it again. The problem that we did before was we had 2, 2, and 2, and 4, 4, and 4. And we said they're similar because what's their common ratio? 2 or 1/2, whatever way you look at it, right? So we know that, well, I'll write it how you did. We know that 4/2 equals 4/2 equals 4/2, which gave us 2. What's the perimeter of this one? Okay, what's the perimeter of this one? So if I set it up, 12 divided by 2, or 6 equals 2. So is the scale factor the same as, or the common ratio for the sides the same as the common ratio for the perimeters? Yeah. So can he do this? Yeah, it would work. We didn't do a problem like that, but it would definitely work. Okay. Is RAP similar to NOK? Why, if it is? So give a reason if it is, give a reason if it isn't. And it says what triangle similarity condition proves it if it's yes. So if it's no, you don't have to give a condition because there's no condition for it being no. You just have to explain why it doesn't work. But if it is true, you have to tell me what condition works.
like 0.6667.
Mm-hmm.
Really long on the inside, just got 6, so it would keep the same, right?
Yeah, because they're not right. Would you rather have 67 seats or 67? Right, so if you didn't say either one. I give you 10 more seconds. All right, pick a board from your team.
Not so much. If you take this, I think that should be, or if you take any of the numbers out, it doesn't do what it ought to.
So you guys pick a board. All right, you guys pick one.
I did that, but then.
All right, so I like that pretty much everyone set up the proportion or figured out the common or the ratios. So if this one, we could say 6 corresponds with 9, 9 corresponds with 15. So you could have cross multiplied and saw that 90 doesn't equal 81. Or you could have reduced. So this is 0.67, this is 0.6, and realize that these two do not equal to each other. So therefore, if you went into further explanation of this, which you should on your test, this is good for here, but go into further explanation on your test, you could say that the ratios of the sides are not common, or you can say that the proportion of the sides are not equal to each other, but just make sure that you're using the correct terminology. So don't say that, the sides don't equal each other. Well, obviously they don't because they're not similar, or say the angles don't equal each other because we weren't using angles. No, I noticed that some of you were trying to automatically do side angle side, and I saw that you guys change it, so that's good. It does look like side angle side, but again, you have to check the proportions. So the sides are not proportional. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
See how it is. Can you take one away from ours too?
What does it say?
Zap all teams.
I think it just means all of yours.
How do you switch points?
Switch the names.
Alright. I cannot spell.
Okay, I'm not a very good speller anymore either.
I wasn't thinking.
That's okay. No, it's just like all your capital letters and then lowercase through and some. All right, next one. Are these two triangles similar? If they are, what condition tells you they are? And if not, why are they not? Remember, use all information provided. See if it helps you at all. Let's see this Landon and George. All right, get 10 more seconds. If you're ready, you can go ahead and talk to your team now. All right, who are we going with?
You got the last order right, so
She's very good.
Alright, so this one, what sides are you?
I don't think that-
Or. It's okay, people do it all the time, it's fine. That way you'll never make mistakes again, right? What did she have, did you have, you're pointing at her, did she have something different? What did you have? The what? Oh, so on this one, they don't give you any side measurements. So since there aren't any numbers here, and even if these lines were congruent, it would be like this, right? So you would only have one pair of sides, and we don't have anything that's just side, right? So this one, you need to recognize that there are two angle A's. So angle A is congruent to angle A. And then since these lines are parallel, these get to be equal to each other because they're corresponding angles. So since they were corresponding, lines are parallel, they get to be equal. So this one's, they are similar by angle similarity. All right, go ahead and do your zap. And this will be the last one. And then go up to whoever wants to be the writer for your team, go up there. Go up to your team. Okay. Who's the writer? Everyone go up to whoever's the writer. Just go up there, and I need you to change your X's into a certain, however many. So you have what?
Are we gonna say what?
Yeah. So if you have 4 X's, 8. So if you have 10 X's, you need to turn that into amounts of triangles, circles, and squares where they add up to 10.
Okay, so we have 4,
We have 11.
8. I say,
So like for example, if you have 10 X's, you could do 4 circles, 4 triangles, 2 squares.
I say.
Oh,
that thing.
Square,
Yeah.
And these are 3 last ones, or switch it in any order, so that's fine. But yeah, make sure of everything.
Yeah, we have 11, so like try to make them all kind of constant squares right now.
Rounding
Yeah, mainly go squares more than
Okay.
it. Like, do like,
6 squares. Oh, look, squares would be like 1.
I don't think we should do any circles, circles are bad luck.
Yeah.
I think it should be squares and triangles.
All right, stay up there so that you can do your tallies.
There's like 1 circle.
Yeah, just put one circle and then make the rest.
You guys need to talk to your other teammate?
Yeah, squares.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't hear it. It was for you.
I have a good.
All right. Which one are we gonna do first?
Circles.
Circles.
-3?
Okay, circles are worth -1.
Good thing we didn't put that many.
So however many circles you have, multiply that by -1.
Told you it's bad luck.
Okay, what are we doing next?
Squares.
Squares? Squares are
-1.
-1.
Oh my god.
Or we just stomped on a furlong.
Is this die weighted?
Okay, well, we got
There's
triangles.
something wrong with this, Doc.
Oh,
We throw it a different
We
direction.
all have -7, I mean.
Show me roll it.
Oh my gosh.
4. Triangles are worth 4.
Oh, sweet.
So we just
So
have
negative.
How many total points you have up there above your name, your dot cards?
4, 8. 16.
It's 11. 16 minus negative.
Oh, I didn't win. Oh,
That right?
Thank you.
yeah, they went up 1.
All right.
Oh, no, we
How many
No,
have
we
you?
won.
Okay, so 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point extra credit.
You get 2 points.
Tests are right here. Make sure I'll put them on Malia's desk. Grab one before you go out. You may ask questions up until tonight on this.
We have to submit a picture of it every 20 minutes.
No, bring it Monday.